So Invincible is back and stuff is kicking off, isn't it? Last episode we witnessed a massacre. Nolan went full-on Mortal Kombat on the Viltrumites. He tore off her jaw and cracked this guy's head enough to shift it off axis, with only his skin holding his skull somewhat together. So we were left with Mark on the Thraxan planet with Nolan being abducted by the Viltrumites. And we also managed to get a payoff about the books, which Nolan had left a clue in. I suppose Mark will now likely have to look for the books in order to save his dad. And we also got to see Mark get left over with Oliver, because obviously Oliver's mother's lifespan is significantly shorter than a normal human. So what would it be to a Viltrumite? Also, fun fact, Oliver is supposed to grow up way faster and slowly start resembling a normal Viltrumite. Even his skin will slowly fade to be a more normal color, and his lifespan will be long, but half that of Mark's lifespan. Because of course, there still is Thraxan DNA inside him. It's all because of how pure Viltrumite DNA is, and smart molecules and all that sciencey stuff. Although I do wonder what would happen if Nolan did have a child with someone of African descent. Would the natural tone of their skin slowly start fading over time? And you're pulling an MJ. Oh, don't cancel me, please. It's just a joke.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. That was crazy,
man. No, but seriously though, what would happen? Would they actually fade away? Would they just become, let's assume that Nolan is Caucasian. Would they just become Caucasian? So then we end up seeing Mark head back to Earth on the ship that was built for him, and he ends up meeting his mom after 2 months of being away. And surprise, surprise, he came with a baby. I'm just trying to think of her initial reactions to seeing a purple baby in her kitchen. Like, think about this, yeah? Your son has been on an alien planet for 2 months. To your knowledge, he is the only human-like being there. So he can be the only one to breed such a child. And oh well, she finds out it's Nolan's son, and she mentions how Nolan leaves people's planets in ruins and always ends up leaving them to fix it. Yeah, some deep stuff. Anyway, Mark goes back to school, finds out he has to see the dean, and that Amber has been going through it while he was out. And it's clear as day that there's quite a lot of tension there, and I know for sure we're going to see them break up in a few episodes. Because at this point, Mark is seeing that he can't actually juggle being a normal guy and being a superhero at the same time. Then we get a payoff on the Donald storyline about him being a cyborg. And honestly, all this time I thought he was a clone. But nah, this homie just a cyborg now. Like, his quote-unquote death left me like, damn. Then this season I see him again and I'm there like, okay, this Cecil guy is cooking. He's cooking something devious. Yeah, and it is. They generally just took his brain and dumped it inside a cyborg looking thing. I don't know how they got his skin to work and react like normal human skin for him to not realize, unless they pre-programmed his brain. But oh well, that's a theory for another day. So I do feel that Donald may end up doing more field work, because, well, we were told that he's supposed to be stronger and better than his original body. So maybe we might see Donald the superhero type stuff. That would be kind of cool. So then we see the Sequid storyline come into action, and everyone except Black Samson knew that Shapesmith was a Martian. So he gives them intel on the Sequids and how they cannot penetrate the Martian skin, but they can't penetrate human skin, which gives them the ability to control the host. So then a team is chosen and the rest of the gang is left with Cecil. So we see Mark join the team as they head to space to fight. So the rest of the team is left on Earth and they end up having to fight the Lizard League. They get thrashed, like properly thrashed. The beatdown ain't even funny, to be honest. Like, we see duplicates get killed in the most creative ways. The interesting thing about her is that she feels all the pain that her duplicates feel. As they get torn apart, she feels it. As they get squished and bitten, she feels it. Then they make it out to seem that she's dead. But I have a theory to suspect that she might not be dead, that her original body is actually somewhere else, and she got bored of having to constantly feel the pain, but she does still feel the pain. Anyway, that's another theory for another day. Then we immediately cut to the rest of the gang, end up having a terrible situation where they have no armor and could end up being controlled by the Sequids. Very nice. And the last bits of the episode, we also get to see a payoff on the Alan the Alien story. Well, he comes back stronger. And I like the fact that he just destroys the machine with barely any effort. because apparently his body regenerates better when it's at its weakest point, which is similar to Viltrumites who end up getting stronger after every battle, and all the damage they take makes them stronger. So Alan will increasingly become stronger as we go on with the series, and will eventually take revenge for having been beaten to the point where his eye came out of outside his own body. And he also made a joke on that, on how he saw outside his body, or saw himself being beaten up, but with his own eyes, which would have been trippy. But anyway, that's the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy this video right up there.